Hey out there. This is August 22nd, 2015, and it's about 9:25 in the morning, West Coast time. I'm in Northern California. And a bunch of stuff I kind of want to talk about today. I wanted to talk about reality and what human beings typically base their perception, their paradigm, their reality on. And the fact that any worthy reality, I believe, fundamentally must be based on logic and reason and not on insanity, as is the quote reality that has been inflicted upon us. But before I get into that too much, because I'm going to digress here and there in this speech today, but I'd like to start by kind of apologizing to this Chico Skywatch because, it's a great organization here in Chico, California. And what these people get into is researching and exposing what they know about this, the atmospheric aerosolized spraying, commonly referred to as chemtrailing. And, I'm all for them. And they've got their approach, and I support them wholeheartedly, fully, and all the subsidiaries of, the Chico Skywatch, because I know Dane Wigington's got his big project going on up in above Redding area. I think he's got, 500,000 acres or something he's trying to look after up there. And, finding all his trees dying, he's very concerned. He's very concerned. I mean, I don't know if he's got kids. I think he's got kids, and he's just concerned citizen. And he's done a whole lot for this, for this getting the information out thing. And, I support Dane Wigington fully, too. The little incident I had up in Redding at this place, I probably overreacted. It's just that, meeting these authoritarian types really sticks in my craw. And, I felt metaphorically like I got punched in the gut. Like a little kid, expecting, that he was getting something for Christmas, and then he's not. He's got let down hard. And it hurt. And, so I just didn't want to pretend like it didn't. I needed to object. But, heck, I should have checked further. And, I shouldn't have just assumed because it's a public forum, I suppose. That's where the whole problem came in, is me assuming that this chemtrail symposium, geoengineering symposium, was at a public, being held at a public forum, like this civic auditorium on the high school campus. I just assumed that, anybody could film there. I mean, and today with smartphones, everybody's taking video, so it just seems so nonsensical. Especially since the idea of these guys standing at the door checking people was for weapons. So the idea of bringing in a tripod and camera, it shouldn't have been a problem at all. And, but anyhow, I actually have met Dane Wigington personally. He gave me his card. I've got his phone number. As far as I know, he wrote his phone number on the back of his card. I could have called him and gotten permission from Dane, but it's neither here nor there now. But I want to make one thing clear, is that I do support anybody in whatever methods they choose to get the information out there. And that's all I want to do. I would never corrupt somebody's video. And, especially when I'm on, I'm for the cause of information. I want accurate information out there. So anybody that thinks I would ever attend, an informational seminar like that and pull some monkey business with the video footage it's erroneous, and I would never do it. My integrity is at stake, and it's just not who I am. But anyhow, to change gears a little bit, been a few things on my mind about the insane world we live in, and was Saturday morning, and I got to listen to the guy blowing up here. I'll step a little closer to the camera. You know, there's a subject I don't talk about often because it is so uncomfortable. It's a very difficult subject to talk about. And I think it's one that really human beings need to talk about sometimes. And it deals with health issues. It deals with mortality. It deals with sexuality. And, you know, that of all these things is difficult, you know, is that aspect of our health is a very difficult thing for many people, including myself, to talk about. And probably it's because I myself feel like I have so many weaknesses in that regard that I excuse and I rationalize, and sometimes, you know, I feel like there's an actual basis for, you know, saying, yes, well, sex is a part of a healthy physical life. But I've talked to doctors about this, and it's refutable. So there's no hard science actually supporting this idea that we need sex in order to be healthy. But I'll tell you a story. I was finishing my high school diploma requirements and degree requirements at Cabrillo High in Santa Cruz, California. And one of the elective courses I took was on health science. And toward the end of this course, they showed a sex education video. And I've got to tell you, I've seen X-rated videos, movies in my life. And this, to me, was more explicit, if possible. Somehow it was hornier. I mean, to use a vulgar term, I'm sorry if that's offensive, but, you know, the fact is that human beings are biological creatures. We get horny. That's a sex drive God put in us. So we do have this drive to want to mate, to want to engage in sexual behavior. So it's a very natural thing. But, you know, I'm not going to go into the explicit details of the movie. I never know who's watched my video. I want my videos to be, you know, watchable by any age group. So I'm not going to get into the explicits of what I saw, but the gist of the movie is, I mean, although there wasn't a lot of explanation that, you know, you got to do this thing to be healthy, but that was definitely the inference, and that was what, you know, they were trying to imbue in the viewers, was that this was healthy sexual behavior, that these people were, they were pleasuring themselves, let's say, okay? Something, if you're very young, it's something you don't understand until you reach that majority of people that do understand. But it's an uncomfortable subject, and I think it's mostly uncomfortable for the fact that we are a fallen race, basically. This comes down to that. And we have issues. And we have issues that are unique to the human being because our intelligence level is so far and away higher than every other creature. We are a cosmic creature. We are much more than mere animals, far more. And we are like gods. And that is, if anybody thinks that's blasphemous, it's not, because it's from the Bible. But the point I'm trying to make here is that this whole idea of wearing clothing is very foreign and unnatural to every other creature. Yet, let me ask you, if we all decided, you know, let's say a town just said, you know what, this is stupid, why are we wearing clothes? We're too mature. We're not going to lust after each other's bodies, or we might enjoy the beauty of each other's bodies, but, you know, we're above that. We're moving on. And, you know, so they all decide to walk around naked. Well, wouldn't that be considered pornographic? I mean, we're talking about little children out there, like a nudist colony. You know, that's what would happen essentially. And can we say that's so immoral and wrong? That's the human body that, you know, that's the creation that God made. But yet we've been trained to believe that is wrong and that is pornographic, that is immoral and obscene. And, you know, I'm just saying, you know, I'm not saying that, look, I'm the last guy that's ever going to get busted walking naked downtown, believe me, okay? I don't feel that need to be immodest any place where it's not fully expected, let's say. So, I wanted to make that clear that, I try to be the furthest thing away from what somebody might construe a pervert that I can. But, these things are as uncomfortable as they are, they need to be discussed sometimes. And, that's what I'm doing here. But, as a general rule, it's not the kind of subject matter I get into. I really try to stay to the more important issues. Now, I do believe that the rulers are trying to kill us in many ways, and one of the ways they're trying to kill us is through taking away our drive to engage in relationships. So in other words, when you oppress people financially, you're not in the mood. A man is not in the mood to court a woman unless he, first of all, feels financially secure, because he knows. Men by and large aren't stupid. They instinctively, intuitively know this is learning. This is understanding. Women want security, and security is defined through financial security in this world. That's just our reality. And these people creating the policies we all have to live under, that's part of the deal here. So if there's a lot more sexual issues out there, and people feeling very tense and discontent and dissatisfied with their lives, and feeling pissy, there's a good reason. And I see this a lot, this pissy attitude among people, and I see it in myself, and it's very unbecoming. And I really am really making a very concerted effort to be a nicer human being and not rub people the wrong way just because I'm so unhappy with having to witness the world going down the tubes, and my brothers and sisters out there, so many of them having a harder time than me. We are all each other. People got to understand it. Like they say, and each of us is all of us. I forget who said that, but that's a famous saying, and that's true. So when you see somebody that's feeling, about this tall, just remember that's you too. And until we really grasp that understanding, it really is. It's more than a philosophy. It's an understanding that really we are each other's keepers. We are our brothers and sisters' keepers. We have an obligation to one another. We have an obligation to love one another, like Jesus said. And what does that mean? If we don't care about other people and their needs, then who's going to care about us? It comes down to that. But to finish up on this whole idea that, this is one way. They're cutting the population growth by making it very difficult for people to get in a relationship. And then you got the whole, ubiquitous sexual issues that people have out there. You hear of these people, the high-profile people getting busted for, child pornography and stuff. And, it's like, I can't imagine. I can't imagine hurting a child. Okay, I know what the Bible says about hurting children. If you hurt a child, okay, you're going to be very sorry, and that is assured, that's promised, that's guaranteed. And it's logical, it's reasonable. You don't hurt a child. Common sense tells you do not hurt a child. Now, as far as people wanting to see child naked, I don't get that. I don't want to see children naked. I brought up 2 little girls. I was a single dad for a long time. I took a picture of my daughters in the shower once, just above the waist. And, that's always been kept in the family. That's been nothing I've wanted to share on Facebook or anywhere else. I never would. It's just 2 cute little girls, 4, 5, and 6, something like that. And just thinking it was the funniest thing in the world. Their daddy took a picture of them while they were naked in the shower. And it's adorable. But the idea that, look, that's sick. Anybody that would lust after a child, I think you've got real issues. But you hear about these high-profile people, and sometimes it happens in law enforcement, and and then you hear of these pedophile rings with the royal families and all this, and it's like, good God, it's repugnant to me.